Penumbra, a posthumous autobiography by Nick Pansegrouw. Level 1. Death.
I'm not Croatian. But hell, I hate injustice. I was left livid July 15th, 2018, the Football World Cup final having been reduced to a farce. France won, albeit on the back of 2 refereeing decisions that left the Croatian team with a proverbial mountain to climb. They never lost hope, but in trying to play catch-up, let in further goals which put a positive result beyond their reach. It left me aching, how the little guys so often find themselves on the wrong side of luck. I know others might point to the fact that they were lucky to be in the final, but hey, indulge me. Perhaps my pain was catalyzed by my insanely attractive blonde wife, who wouldn't put her phone down to watch the teams sing their national anthems. I mean, we're watching the Football World Cup final, the biggest sporting event on earth, the ultimate achievement of any football player, and she's more interested in an online fashion sale. Yup, I am judgmental, perhaps even mental, but still, time and place, honey. None of this matters because I'm dead. Yup, dead. I'll get to this in a moment. Like any self-respecting ghost, perhaps I should offer a modicum of preamble, possibly detail how I once slept in a wheelie bin after a night out with rock stars. Or maybe provide some insight into how a person can drink 11 bottles of red wine at a party. On a more cultured note, I literally cried for days after learning what unrequited love means. But who cares? I'm dead. My name is Sebastian Jane Thomas, and how is it possible that I'm communicating with you despite being dead? I have absolutely no idea. On to how I died. It was the day after the Football World Cup final, and it involved an idiot on a smartphone. One of these mucks who crosses a road staring at a screen. Problem is, I was the idiot. Worst of all, my phone was in my pocket right up until I started crossing the road. I felt a vibration, pulled it out, and seconds later was withdrawn from existence by an overzealous woman in a white Nissan, probably on her way to some inane nothingness. You calling me cynical? Nah, I'm just expired. Anyway, in the midst of detailing how I died, perhaps I should report on what's happening now. You see, for me, the answer to death is partly resolved. If I'm dead but can still communicate, I can't be fully dead, right? I'm sitting on a red upholstered chair set beside a wooden door entertaining a velveteen-draped hallway, it quiet as if I were paralyzed in a vacuum. I appear to be waiting on something, and while doing so I'm thinking this monologue into being. Who knows, perhaps one day it'll be transcribed into written form, maybe my death will become a literary bestseller. Anyway, with my life being over, let's get some reflective dabbling in order. Let's start with my name, Sebastian Jane Thomas. Jane? I also don't know why my parents chose to mess with me from day one. I was born into a middle-class home, Mom a hard-working realist, while Dad thought of, and exhausted, a host of entrepreneurial plans that never quite fit the century we lived in. I was the second of 3 kids, overseen by older brother Sam and undercut by younger sister Julie. Sam's a real loner, his ongoing life palaver the result of taking too many psychedelic mushrooms at a party when just a teenager. Julie's a doll, a people's person extraordinaire, but that's probably why she's been married 3 times before the age of 30. We grew up in a happy home, living in a 5-bedroomed house centering around a grand wooden dining room table Dad insisted we take every dinner at. It's not surprising to say we rebelled against this when younger, but now, dead. I wish I could return to it one last time, see the family, functional, not, whatever, sitting at our respective spots, laughing, shouting, fighting. Oi! The wooden door is opening. I stand and enter a white room complete with a round red table and 2 red chairs. I sit down, put a hand to my chest and the other to my neck. Feel for breath, a pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Guess I'm really dead. Back to my past. Everything's blurry, at least until after high school. I think most people my age, 36, feel this way, but I could be wrong, like I've been wrong about most things. What I do remember, lots of joy, video games, and swimming. And dogs, always dogs. And our garden, gosh, God seemed to sing from the trees. God. I'm agnostic, but never had the chance to test that. Why? Because nobody ever asked what I believed in. which made me think there wasn't anything worth believing in. That's why my business card read, semi-enthusiastic nihilist. I wasn't really a nihilist. I just needed something to deal with all the agony of the world, whether it be the silent cry stirring in all our hearts, the stupidity of war, or hogwash football results. Could I be waiting on God? The better question is, do I want to be waiting on God? If I'm due for an interview, I'd prefer someone less smart than me, because I don't want to feel more inferior in death than I felt in life. Perhaps an ex-middle manager. I usually got the best of them. But with death being uncharted territory, I'm going to have to roll with whatever happens. Lo and behold, my very alive first love walks into the room. She's very different from the first time I saw her as a 6-year-old. A whole gang of us had been corralled into my bedroom that evening, our parents drinking wine and getting high out by the pool while we fought over pillows and watched Care Bears.
Sebastian, how are you?
Angela? Angela nods. I really shouldn't know who she is, what with 30 years having passed since the one and only time I ever saw her.
How do you feel?
Feel? Can dead people feel? Angela laughs. I take in her blue ankle-length dress as she sits on the other chair.
You are dead, Sebastian. Would you care to know the details?
A car hit me while I was crossing the road and checking my phone. Plonker Awards 101.
I mean the reason you checked your phone. You never...
My head shaking stops her mid-sentence. If you told me why, I'd probably want to die, and I've already squared that one off. Angela smiles. She's cute. A long-haired brunette with cozy eyes, a healthy bosom, and a maternal glow. I'd usually be sexually aroused by now, but rigor mortis is as stiff as I'm going to get.
Okay, suit yourself. I'm here to answer one question.
One question?
Yes.
That might take some time.
Well, you'll have plenty of time as things develop. I'll be off now.
Where are you going?
That's your second question. Just relax. Things will become clearer as you go on.
Angela opens and closes the wooden door. I'm left alone to contemplate the lonely vaults of death's abyss. Angela gets me thinking. What came through on my phone that caused me to lose focus and die? It was probably some lame Facebook notification telling me the 60-plus subscribers to my group page hadn't heard from me in a while. Yeah, like they care. How about my wife? No goddamn way. Evelyn sends messages, no, novellas, to everyone except me. That's why I started the affair with Sherry. We'd only been together a month, but Sherry turned back the clock on my life, made me feel alive again, chronically torpid, but painfully good-looking, Evelyn. It's all just social media nonsense and excuses about not getting a job with her. But I'm free of her now. Maybe. Maybe Evelyn's happy I died. It's sure going to be difficult to hide her excitement from the kids, though. Huxley and Shiloh, my babies. Daddy's gone, and I failed you. Left you to grow up, or not, with your mother. If there's anything I wanted in life, it was for me to be there for you. Whoa, death is sucking quite badly right now. And Angela? Why did she greet me in death? She'd literally played nothing other than a 2-hour role in my 6-year-old psyche, predicated on viewing spots for a cartoon about rainbow-colored bears. And yet she strides into the room, and I recognize her, sits down, tricks me into wasting my question, and leaves. I suck, in both life and death. Okay, get a grip, no point in complaining. But what to think when dead? I'm dead, yet I'm thinking? I imagined I'd be free of these crazy mental mumblings when expired, but things aren't all that different here, except that contemplations seem to echo without any possibility of ending. Seconds, minutes, years pass, who knows? I don't feel tired, hungry, thirsty, sleepy, or horny. I'm a blank slate, scribbled over by thoughts that are constantly erased and reborn. Luckily, or not, the door opens. A shadow steps in. A shadow man. Shadow man takes a seat. I guess he's looking at me, but I can't really tell with him being eyeless. I have no idea why I don't feel terrified, confused. I think of something to say and make sure it's not a question. Interesting weather.
Weather doesn't exist here.
How do you pass the time here?
Sebastian Jane Thomas, you are dead. Is that clear?
I sigh before replying, as day.
Before continuing, you will be offered resolution to your previous existence.
And I only have one question to sum up my insignificance, yeah? The Shadow Man doesn't answer, not for a considerable while.
Sebastian Jane Thomas.
Funny, that's the first time I ever enjoyed hearing my middle name.
What was the purpose of your life?
I shake my head and smile. To become as confused and irate as humanly possible, and then have everything end while doing the most mediocre, hypocritical thing possible. I thought myself to be pretty smart when young, but things sure devolved as time passed, all that I thought to be sacred and holy turning out to be a big sack of lies. So I guess my purpose was to be a surveyor and purveyor of truth, albeit without the requisite time needed to report on it properly.
Do you have any notable regrets?
I tap my fingers on the table. Sometimes I think my greatest regret was being born. I mean, life is great and all, like an endless buffet where 95% of the foods are off limits because you're either too poor, ugly, young, old, or underconnected to eat them without fear of recrimination. Also, the fact that modern life is essentially a tax farm populated by mindless consumer zombies doesn't make me want to sing any praises from nearby rooftops. The Shadow Man nods before asking,
What did you love most on Earth?
That's easy. My cat. She was my cat, but died of kidney failure. I was there when we put her down. She and my wife Evelyn always fought each other, their jealousy an endless blood ballad. My cat never gave me hassles. And my kids, God, I love them. Too beautiful for words. And now they're stuck in that cesspool without daddy. I thought you were supposed to rest in peace when you die, not suffer the agony of watching your dearest be fed through the ringer by a dangerously maladjusted mother.
You don't love your wife?
The Shadow's tone alarms me. Say again?
You don't love your wife?
I did.
You did. What happened?
A different approach enters my thoughts. Hey, what's with this line of questioning? I mean, I know I'm dead, despite consciously being able to recall my previous life. What's going on?
This is all for you, Sebastian Jane Thomas. As already mentioned, this is a chance for you to resolve things before fully leaving your previous life behind.
Doesn't death do that automatically?
Death doesn't mean the end, Sebastian Jane Thomas.
Weirdo? I shake my head. Okay, so you want to know about my wife. We knew each other 10 years. I met her at a baseball game. Can you believe it? She was selling popcorn. We swapped numbers, attraction became physical, and then bolts of personality leaked out between bouts of intercourse. Evelyn was cool then. She liked cats, which was big for me then. She also introduced me to the love of my life.
The love of your life?
The cat I spoke of. The Shadow Man shakes his head.
Did you tell your wife how you felt about the cat?
Constantly.
It's no surprise your relationship turned sour.
The Shadow Man is probably right. But with me being dead, I'm not sure if I should care. Hey, I'm not perfect, I death shrug. I probably shouldn't have gotten married. I'm not all that compatible with people.
Were you always like that?
Always like what?
Not all that compatible with people.
I smile wryly. Probably not. I used to care about things, mostly people and animals, and then social media happened.
Social media?
Before social media, life had meaning via the fact that not everyone knew everything about everybody. People looked at each other on the street, wondered about them. Now, everyone's just looking for a prop to take a picture against, living a happy, smiley fakeness built to mask the inner dismay they feel, all of which is catalyzed by a lack of real intimacy. Following a nod, the Shadow Man asks,
Were you unhappy at the end of your life?
Unhappy? I guffaw. Try furious. That's why Evelyn and I fell out. We used to be cool together. Then everything became about social media and her Facebook acolytes. She'd ignore me and slag me off to them, all in an attempt to pick up pity points from vacuous online automatons who wouldn't piss on her if she were fireballing in a gutter.
All this while conducting a love affair with the cat?
Don't be ridiculous, I retort, despite truth having been tabled. Who's to say I didn't ramp up said love affair because Evelyn bailed on us? I mean, it's media consumption all day long with her. Warns me to be careful when she sees some fear-breathing TV news report. Tells me to work harder so that, like her online airhead friends, we can also buy a Hulk-headed, environment-culling SUV.
Is she a good mother?
Why do you ask that?
I don't have any reference for mothers.
But you do for quasi-illicit love affairs with cats?
Sebastian Jane Thomas.
I swear this shadow man is my grandmother, reincarnate. Is Evelyn a good mother? Yes, she bathes and feeds the kids, changes the sheets when they pee in bed. She's also good at making chocolate brownies. The kids love brownies. But on the flip side, she screams at them for almost nothing, and you can't blame the cat for that. She's been gone a while already.
Was she a good wife?
I already told you.
You said nothing about her as a wife.
A thought enters my head. I've been here a considerable while now and haven't yet been offered a drink. Don't people drink here?
People don't exist here.
Okay, so what am I?
A penumbra.
A penumbra, I howl. If ever I write another book, I swear I'll call it that. Penumbra. And you're a penumbra too?
I'm a processor.
I'm not going to ask. The shadow man nods slowly. My wife. I shake my head. Let's start with her looks. I know it's shallow, but I remain a man, dead or alive. Evelyn's really good looking. One of those blonde knockouts country crooners go nutty over. And the sex, amazing. I never thought we'd marry, but then Evelyn got pregnant. I did the right thing, which may have ended up being the wrong thing. I rebelled when she started curtailing my freedom. Evelyn fought back. We made up. Ding, 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 another baby. She used to be sweet, treated me nice back in the day. But due to the exhaustion that comes from caring for little ones, we both felt flustered, resentful, and then she could no longer breathe without checking her phone.
So, not a complete lost cause?
Evelyn wasn't utterly horrid. The problem was the last time I saw her, the Football World Cup final. She didn't have the decency to watch the teams sing their national anthems, and when Croatia got sucker punched twice via bad refereeing, she raged against my detailing of injustice based on the fact that she thought the French were the better-looking team. I went to bed furious, wished hell on her, woke up the next day feeling like diarrhea in a rainstorm, stepped out to get some coffee and was taken out by that woman driving the Nissan.
Would you care to see your wife again?
You saying that ghosts are real?
Ghost?
The shadow man cocks his head. You're saying there's a way to go back?
Anything is possible.
I rub my chin. How do I earn that right?
Earn that right? You don't earn anything here. You exercise your freedom as you wish. The only thing stopping you is your own constructed idea of fear, informed by cause and effect.
Christ, philosophy class again. Got a cigarette lying around anywhere?
What do you think?
About seeing Evelyn?
Yes.
The idea, attractive just moments before, turns ghastly. But how?
Dreams.
I meet Evelyn through her dreams? The shadow man nods again. And I can do so at will?
Whenever she's asleep.
How do I know if she's asleep?
That's yours to figure out.
I laugh. Man, you dead folk sure are slippery. The shadow man doesn't reply. Instead, he stands up and leaves the room. He doesn't return. I swear it feels like I've been here 100 years. Yet I don't feel bored, wary, excited, curious. Nothing. It's as if feelings and impressions are simply elements constructed to ward us away from fear, which might be precisely what it means to be human. Anyway, this story would suck if nothing happened, so something does. The door cracks open, and a cat waltzes in. I follow it with my eyes as it jumps onto the open seat and starts cleaning itself. It's a ginger, a beautiful young male with galactic green eyes. He looks at me, taps his nose twice, and jumps onto the table. We watch each other. I move my head, my eyes, my mouth. I pull funny faces, but it continues to look at me with steadfast concentration. When my attention begins to wane, it speaks.
You.
What?
You.
I shake my head.
It's you.
You? What? What are you getting at? The cat relaxes its gaze.
I'm here for you. Not the first time. That's all I'm saying.
Not the first time.
Pardon me. I forget that people forget everything.
So, we know each other, I ask.
You can say that.
And you're here because?
The same reason you are.
If I weren't dead, my head would probably explode right about now. Okay, I scale back. Give me a break. I don't know what's going on. Would you kindly fill me in?
You know that you're dead, right? If not, sorry.
I love cats. Really, they're magnificent specimens, perhaps the holiest things to grace life. But this one, a bit smart-assy. I know I'm dead, and this is all suitably intriguing. Can you fill me in on some details? The cat smirks. It actually smirks.
I'm here to do your bidding.
Death is better than life, I laugh. I keep being told how everything here is for me.
Don't get a big head, okay? But yes, everything here is for you.
Why?
Part of the process.
I'm afraid to ask.
And I can't fully tell you. I'm simply here to accompany you back to life, albeit in an altered way.
The Shadow Man said something about dream.
Yes, I can act as a bridge between this place and your previous realm.
So the Egyptians were right?
Egyptians?
I frown, change direction. But the Shadow Man said I needed to figure out how to return to my wife on my own. The cat nods. You confirming that?
That's why I'm nodding.
Do you have a name? The cat shrugs. It actually shrugs.
Call me whatever you like. You and I have done this a few times already. You forget every name you ever give me.
I rub my forehead. Okay, so now what?
Now we wait.
And so we do. We eyeball each other as if this will alter my currency. At least it offers stimulation in this opaque environment. When I finally pull away, everything fades to black. I'm standing on the patio of our family home, looking out over the yard. Evelyn is crouched in the distance, tending to a patch of yellow geraniums. It's odd. Everything feels as authentic as real life, but neither smell nor sound exists. When I touch my hand, I'm relieved to know I can still feel. My wife stands and rubs her eyes with her left wrist. She also wipes her brow, and after picking up her basket and tools, returns to the house, around the pool, along a stone-laid footpath, and up the patio steps into our home. She doesn't look my way, which makes me wonder if she can see me. I follow her inside. The house is as before, except the fireplace has been replaced by a giant black oval. My instincts say that it's a portal, but I'm more inclined to follow Evelyn than investigate. I follow her to the bedroom, stand in the doorway, and watch her undress. There's nothing to indicate she's knowledgeable of my presence. Strange, I think, while watching her. I'd always considered myself more liberal than Evelyn, yet possessed none of her confidence when naked. Such gifts belong to the realm of beauty, I death sigh. Evelyn walks to the ensuite bathroom and doesn't close the door. Turns on the shower faucets, feels the water temperature, showers. Watching her feels like a dream come alive. When finished, Evelyn dries herself, hangs her towel on a railing, and returns to the bedroom. She stops at the foot of the bed, turns to me, and mouths.
Well, come on.
So I do. My wife lies on the bed, adjusts herself, and smiles. I take off what I'm wearing, the bloodied blue t-shirt and navy shorts I died in, and, this is nuts, I'm ready for action. Following some eerily silent foreplay, I engage. It feels exactly as it should, minus sound. I kiss her as always, take time with each erogenous zone, and mention when climax nears. Evelyn mouths.
Come inside.
And, like any man dead or alive, I alter the course of a parallel history. I lie down and snuggle Evelyn from behind, her long blonde hair set against my cheek. My wife takes my hand and lays it over her left breast, her heartbeat singing through my palm. While lying this way, a standard post-orgasmic nap beckons. Silence, however, becomes ruptured.
Did you love me?
Yes, my voice sounds newly made. I never stopped loving you.
Why did you screw me over so badly then?
Evelyn never spoke this frankly when I was alive. What do you mean?
Sebastian, you and Sherry.
Silence lingers a moment. How?
Your notebook.
My writing notebook? Evelyn says nothing, which in turn says everything. It's about time I fill you in on my professional life. I graduated with a marketing degree, but a week later realized I hated marketing because it's utter hogwash, falsely dressing up products and services to rope in impressionable demographics while enriching immortal Sith Lord bastards married to gargoyle-like trophy wives. So, I became an elementary school teacher. Why a teacher? It's the least hypocritical work I could think of, and it afforded me ample vacation time to indulge in novel writing. Teaching was fine, but writing was everything to me. The diamond that happily washed over the nauseating daily mill. It also never crapped in its pants, made you wait a year for a passport, or ruined your life via buffoon-like micromanagement. It provided solace, and I was good at it, at least if you ignore my book sales record, which totally sucked. The irony was that my marketing background didn't help me sell books. In fact, it was as if my education paralyzed rather than galvanized me. Anyway, back to post-orgasmic travails. You read it?
You died, Sebastian. Of course. I know you're creative, but wow. I didn't know you could so effectively describe love trysts in park bushes. That part about merry-go-rounds. Pity you never sold more books. Against a talent like yours, 50 Shades of Grey reads like a nursery rhyme.
I think I'm blushing, only to realize I'm probably decaying.
Sebastian, you were an asshole.
You weren't perfect either, honey. Evelyn sighs, removes my hand from her breast and moves away. Oh, I shake my head. Nothing changes, even after death. You say what you want, but if I say something back, things get like this.
Sebastian, I just made love to you. A man I knew was having sex with another woman in park bushes for at least a month before he died. I move a couple centimeters away to digest my feelings, and you get self-righteous? Asshole!
I can never win.
And then you die. What about me? The kids?
Evelyn, her name makes me hard. Do you think I chose to die?
I don't know, asshole. When someone chooses thorny bush sex over his wife and family, everything becomes complicated.
I'd always appreciated Evelyn's ability to frame things. The problem was she often framed me in front of the kids too. Evelyn, our relationship was a mess. You were always on your phone and I felt like a slave working toward dead-endedness. I didn't love Sherry, but she did make me feel like a man again.
So having a wife, kids, a family didn't make you feel man enough?
Ouch. Honey, you can't understand. I shake my head. Don't want to understand. You always take the most convenient side, even if it makes you blind. I would have happily discussed our marriage problems, but you would never listen. You just attack me for any and everything. No rational person would choose to leave their family, but they would leave something that's irrational, and a non-communicative marriage is exactly that. Evelyn doesn't respond. I wonder if she's crying or has turned to stone, her two go-to reactions. I'm surprised to learn that she's fallen asleep, which in turn wakes me up. I jolt upright on the chair. I'm back in the dead room, home to first loves, shadow men, and talking cats. The lighting feels daunting, and the anchor of memory that lingers from my dreamtime foray into wifeland has left me rattled. If she'd just put her goddamn phone down and listened to the national anthems. I can't stay here, waiting on ghosts, enigmas, spectres. This motley crew of characters is killing me. I stand up, open the door, and exit the room. Back in the velveteen-draped hallway, I turn right and walk away from where I first materialized. It feels like I'm being prepped for a show, that beyond the curtains is an audience watching my own life flash before my eyes. From nowhere, music starts playing. Pink Floyd's Pigs on the Wing, Part 1, an existential chorus of my 20s. Sound whirls and a light appears. I must get to it, if anything, just to ward away the deadening monotony. Upon reaching the light, it dissolves and a new picture is revealed. I'm 21 years old again, bleary-eyed and feeling heavy-headed in my bed. I sit up and rub my eyes, the scene feeling utterly real. Is this a memory, a dream, a hallucination? I settle on the understanding that one and all are the same. I wasn't promiscuous during my college years, but didn't court celibacy either. Hence, I'm not surprised to see a naked female walk into the room. I should recognize whoever it is parading around in the buff, but it's not easy in my hungover state. Then it hits me. Kate. Kate liked me in my freshman year. She was oddly pretty, long and lithe with straight blonde hair and baby blue eyes. She'd made her feelings known to me via friends, and I thought I'd investigate. Kate had wanted to become an elementary school teacher. I thought this lame then, only to become one myself later in my life. In sum, a good, wholesome girl, no nonsense, addictions, chips on her shoulders, and she liked me. People truly are strange. Kate sits at my desk and starts writing something. To her right is a dying plant. To her left, a poster of two cherub angels dreaming on a cloud. I'm dead, but still cringe at how messy I once was. My room looks like a tornado smashed through it. Kate puts the pen down and stands to face me. She is beautiful, but I didn't think so 15 years ago. This scene now registers as a flashback, but I'm not 100% sure. She sighs and says,
Seb, I know we had fun, but can anything more come of this?
"It's a memory. I remember this." I laughed to ignore her then, but now acquiesce to posthumous curiosity. "Of course," I say before my tongue starts twisting in my mouth. My intended words become scrambled, and soon I'm prancing naked around the room, growing angrier until the words I'm mouthing, "Damn, damn, damn," explode out. This understandably jars Kate, who picks up her clothes, dresses, and leaves without saying another word. Even in death, I'm a loser. With Kate gone, the room turns eerily silent, as if an invisible murder has happened. I go to my desk and read what she wrote.
I loved you, Seb. Or at least, I could have. You had neither the courage nor fortitude to deal with a good thing, and thus were left blind when I came along. I don't know what happened to you after the morning I left, but things could have been different for us. Sadness lives within you, Seb. I know that. May you one day find peace and joy. Stay beautiful, stay you.
The final strains of Pigs on the Wing, Part 1, flood the silence of my heart, my once upon a time life. I wake up later. Yes, wake up in the same college bedroom where Kate left me hanging. This is a happy departure from white death rooms and velveteen draped hallways. Thank God. I get out of bed, stretch, check myself out in the mirror. A full head of hair, muscular arms, broad chest, live-in masculinity. Wow, it's hard to believe I once lived in a world where I could say that. Live-in masculinity, without somebody taking offense. Just when did humanity sell its sense of humor, its true, beautiful diversity, for the insane belief that collective liberalism is a badge of freedom when it's actually neo-Marxism booked on a one-way ticket to global totalitarianism? Yeah, people generally yawn when you throw anything remotely intelligent at them. But hey, whatever. I investigate the room's contents carefully. My clothes, an old stereo system, a wolf-shaped ice bucket. The walls are adorned with photos of my travels through America, the land where my inner wanderlust was first stirred. Girls, visions, everything, in Jack Kerouac vernacular. A sadness steps in, nostalgic regret born from death racing backwards to strangle everything. I'd always thought that fate dictated my life, but here, in the echoes of Kate, I feel that things could have been very different. DP walks into my room. An intelligent Jim Morrison disciple with movie star looks. He's dressed in Nirvana white from head to toe, tousled hair covering his eyes as a half-smoked cigarette hangs from his mouth. What I'm seeing now isn't a memory. It's two memories segued into a weird, comforting currency.
Sheesh, bro, I'm drunk. That Joan thing ran heavies till an hour ago. Hooked up with this cherry, sells roses with her smile. So much of digging. Why are you looking mad glum?
What if I tell you I'm dead? I ask. DP looks at me as if I'd swallowed his ATM card.
We're all dead, bro. Some just choose to live our deaths. What you doing now? Feel for a cig?
I quit smoking 7 years ago, but now at least I won't die from it. Sure, man. Got a Lucy? DP lights a cigarette and hands it over.
Totals, bro. Aish, we got a history tutorial tomorrow. Grapes of Wrath. Did you read it?
The double-edged memory becomes one. I didn't read Steinbeck's novel when alive. Instead, DP and I got high, read the last page, and let the THC take over. Our history lecturer lambasted the class for not doing their homework, only for DP and I to be hailed for passionate diligence. Don't worry, I smile before becoming distracted by another thought. Hey, Day, what if you knew you were going to die tomorrow?
What are you on, honk? First you say you're dead. Now more crazy questions. You sleeping with nutbug honeys again?
I laugh. Come, I'll buy us lunch. By now I have full access to my senses, which means I'm pretty much experiencing a full-on replay of my life. I grab my keys and, lo and behold, she's parked outside the house. The Crystal Ship. A 1999 white Opel Corsa, the Crystal Ship was the only car on the street that never got broken into, probably because the eponymous Doors song was printed and stuck on the left back passenger window.
Where we going?
Fancy a chow?
I'm not hungry, but I'd dig a Coke. Red ambulance for the cop, you know?
I smile knowingly. Okay, let's do some cokes and head up CB ways. Cullen Bulls. The student dorm where DP and I met. Beyond CB was a quarry, a quite magical place where stupendous things happened. I was once taken hostage by its surrounding cliffs, instructed to strip my clothes and remain in an imaginary cage while local elves went off to buy goods for a birthday party. To say I went to a liberal arts college would be an understatement. That was many moons ago, and while I appreciate that time long gone, I now possess the mind of a 36-year-old tax-paying slave shorn of idealism. So rather than revisiting the past, I'm now telling DP, in that same quarry, how much I love him, what he's taught me, how I wish him the best. He thinks I'm tripping and soon grows agitated, listening to what he considers unwarranted madness.
You crazy port. You picked up some nigh disease sorting you madly. Go see a doctor.
I can't explain it. I know things, seen things.
Spare me the Blade Runner monologue, brew. My head hurts. Anyway, I gotta meet my sweetheart from last night. Maybe I'm a bit nuts, but yeah, she could be the one.
She isn't. Up till my death, DP worked as a prize-winning photographer, detailing the lives of the oppressed. He always had women, but they were more teleological muses than utopian singularities. Sure hope so, I tell him. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you what you mean to me. DP gets up, shakes his head and starts walking away.
I'll meet you at the car, brew. Need a rook. Think I dropped the lighter. See you now.
I never see him again. Back in the velveteen-draped hallway, I sit on the red upholstered chair. There is now a white table beside me, topped by black headphones. They're wireless, and there's no power supply around. I put them on and meet silence. 10 seconds later, a woman's voice greets me. It's neutral sounding, the kind of voice that instructs people who don't like instructions. She asks me to think of a song, its meaning, its significance, but it's difficult to think of anything. As my cloudy mental state gradually dissipates, a low-key orchestra starts up. Champagne Supernova, Oasis, 1996. My best friend Jay and I once spent an afternoon detailing how we'd buy a van and drive to Manchester to meet the band after finishing high school. It never happened, but their music remained with me until the very end. It plays now, and a scene of dolphins, rocky thrones, and a beach housing the secrets of the world materializes. As does Pamela. Pamela, my love supreme. She loved long, flowery dresses, smiled as if she conducted the sun. Beauty incarnate, she also coloured in a quite sublime year of my life. We sit on a hidden beach within a sliver of shadow, the world above us shaded azure blue as the endless ocean meets the horizon. I'm due to write my final philosophy exam the next day, but this means nothing as we strip and run silently to the water. This memory is exclusive in that only sight and sound exist. Everything else is devoid of sensation. The quintessence Pamela and I shared was born from long overland trips, moonlit crowned love, and the belief that we shared a single, unique, yet conflicted soul, divided only by direction and chromosomes. That Sunday afternoon was the crystallization of our union, timeless as the worries of a diamond.
The ocean's greatest power lies in its forgiveness.
Pamela mentions when back at our sheltered spot. What?
The ocean. It's so wild and free, like us at birth. And despite what beatings it takes, it never stops giving. I don't know much, Seb, but I do know that the ocean is true, the closest thing to godliness on earth. Its grace is beyond everything, a watercolour from which everything rises and eventually returns.
Pamela had always been smarter than me. Not only academically, she could effortlessly read between the lines of reality. Pam, do you think we'll be together a long time? My girlfriend turns to face me.
Seb, I don't think so. Our relationship will end someday. I love you, and know that you love me. But this is a strange time in our lives, and we're here for each other now. That will change, though. Please don't think I don't love you or want to leave. I don't. But I must speak the truth, because doing otherwise would insult what we share.
Prescience equals truth.
And you? What do you think?
About us? Pamela nods. Dramatic irony aside, I cannot ignore the idea of the butterfly effect. If I veer too far from what actually happened, I might catalyze some rigorous back engineering that affects everything. Only time will tell, I guess, my inner melancholy voices itself. For now, we can either enjoy or despair in that truth. For me, I just want to love you. We make love on the candy-striped mat we brought along, but it feels hollow. First, because I cannot physically feel anything, and second, because this is simply a pantomime. To my end, to her end, to the end. I fall asleep and wake up later. Night's first stars voice the sky, and Pamela isn't beside me. I'm taken with lethargy and a heavy-boned feeling, but simultaneously feel exhilarated via the simple fact that I can feel. I stand up, stretch, and look out over the beach and water. Pamela is nowhere to be seen. What materializes is the ginger cat I met in the liminal place, that space of stark lighting, velveteen-draped hallways, and afterlife puppets.
Sebastian, having a good time?
Interesting way to describe things.
You had a decent dabble in your past? Met old loves, good friends, breathed in old landscapes. Where to next?
It's been interesting, but I remain baffled. In life, things follow a narrative, but here everything is so disparate, so random. Is there no end, no inherent purpose?
How different is this from life? Yes, your life followed a narrative, but only because you framed it that way.
I sigh in the face of truth. Yes, it's about how you package things. But you can't blame me for thinking this way. I lived on Earth for 36 years.
And I certainly don't blame you.
The ginger cat smirks.
You're an infant here, and will perceive things based on your recently completed life. Have you been able to distill things? Create any overriding impressions?
Feeling dumb as ever, I shake my head. You got me, cat. Sorry, I've always had a problem understanding things. Always needed a book or two to put even simple concepts in place. Distilling things, overriding impressions. I'm going to need some direction.
Would you like to continue in this realm, or move on?
I consider this before saying, can you indicate what's to follow before I leave everything behind? Let me weigh up my options. The cat semi-nods.
First, time isn't something you need to dwell on. Time is a terrestrial thing, but in this place, it's more like a no thing. If you want to dabble longer in the past, be my guest. If you're tired of it, tortured by it, anaesthetized, move on. And to answer your question, no, I can't tell you what lies ahead. Your future belongs to you. I have no prescience regarding that.
But what's with all the randomness? The only links between anything are past loves and occasional coitus. Why am I experiencing all of this?
You're choosing everything, actually. Perhaps not directly, but definitely in a way that makes sense to the whole of you.
Whole of me?
There's more to you than your previous earthly incarnations, Sebastian. It's not my place to detail how everything works, but I can definitely say that you have almost unlimited freedom here. The only thing inhibiting you is yourself.
Okay, I nod. How about directing me to someone or something that can fill in the gaps? I'm accustomed to narrative, and if things come to me via mashups of the past, dreams, and fantasy, I'm cut loose from any semblance of reality.
I feel you, big guy. In that case, I say you've passed level 1.
Level 1?